Change your preferences or die alone. If you guys don't know, I made an appearance on Kendra G, Singles Online. Okay. I don't know if you've been under a rock, but Kendra G, very beautiful, funny woman, has a dating show online. I've seen her in passing, right? Didn't pay much attention aside from the video that went viral with her. She had a woman on there shutting down this younger guy. This younger guy tried to play that hitting the wall and you're out of my tax bracket. And this lady just diced the guy and diced him so. I mean, she didn't get emotional. He was not ready for the debate, right? So that video went viral, and that's really where I know Kendra G from. Tawana G, okay? You guys all know Tawana G, okay? A friend of On the Block with Jen. Tawana G is the one that suggested that I go on Kendra G, right? And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, go on there. You'd have fun, blah, blah, blah. I said, I will go on there. So Kendra G, she is on Facebook. She does her dating show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube like every freaking night. It's crazy how this woman works. She's also a correspondent on a Chicago radio show. So this woman is she's hustling, doing her thing. So, you call up just like you guys do here on StreamYard. I was backstage. She saw me. She pulled me up to the panel. And then she basically asked you some dating questions, what your preferences are, what your deal breakers are. So I gave my preferences. I kept it light. It was fun for me. Like, I know there are a lot of reaction videos on YouTube right now about, oh, she thinks she could get this. She thinks she could get that, regarding my preferences, right? Because today you can't even have fucking preferences because people are telling you what you can't and can't have, which is interesting, right? So I went on the Kendra G. It was a good time with me. She said she loved having me on. We had a good, it was like two girlfriends talking. I was like, hey, I want the 6'6", the 6 inches, the 6 figures, the over 6 feet tall. It was fun for me, right? A lot of people didn't like my preferences. A lot of people did reaction videos. Men and women did reaction videos to my appearance on Kendra G, insisting I shouldn't have those preferences according to them. I shouldn't have those preferences. And being that I had those preferences, I was going to die alone or with a cat. I don't even like cats. I like dogs better. But, I was going to die alone. People up in arms and, yeah, look at her. She wanted a dating show. And I'm like, motherfucker, bitch, do I look like, do I sound like I need to go on a dating show to find a man? Do I look like or sound like any given day I need to go on a dating show to find a man? Right? Let's not play dumb just for shits and giggles. Let's keep it 100. If I wanted, right, to date somebody, I could go through my contacts of some very, very interesting, excellent, accomplished men who I've worked with. Some I've worked with lightly, some I've worked with, on some involved projects, but men who are interested in me or, my outs and abouts, I meet men that are wonderful, right? I know YouTube have you think like no good men exist. They're all dogs. And YouTube have you think that women want preferences and none of them deserve anything. They're all a bunch of bitches they get their periods and women are bad. All women suck. I'm going my own way, right? YouTube have you thinking that. But the real world is actually the opposite. There are amazing women. There are accomplished women, right? Who can date whoever the fuck they want to date. There are accomplished men who are great men who could really date whoever the fuck they want to date. They can go to a lounge. They can meet somebody at work. They can travel and meet somebody on a flight. They can travel and meet somebody at their destination, right? It's really not hard to date, despite what you look like, if you have a pleasant personality, right? You just have a pleasant personality, be engaging, have a great sense of humor, care about what you look like. You don't have to be a Barbie or a Ken. You can just care about what you look like. Be clean, be courteous. You pretty much can get anybody the fuck you want. I know YouTube, no one could get everybody, and everybody hate everybody. Nobody could, right? So I found it interesting that the reaction videos were they were filled with so much vitriol. I spent maybe 15 minutes on the screen with Kendra G. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it light. I spoke about being an atheist. I spoke about what my deal breakers were, right? And, you know, for some reason, those 15 minutes triggered a lot of people, right? Because it seems today you can't have a preference. No preferences. You take whatever comes down that fucking sewer pipe and you be happy, okay? You like that turd and you marry that turd and shut the fuck up, right? That is what people have you thinking that you have to do with your life. Don't you have no preferences here, girl, right? It's like Oliver Twist. If you guys are familiar with the story, Oliver Twist was like, yo, bro, I want some more porridge. And the whole room stopped. More? You want more? That's how people act when you say, I have a preference. I want a guy that works out. I have a preference. I want a girl with a big booty. And you know what I mean? It's more? You want more? The whole room stops if you have a preference. And I find it interesting that now having preferences is synonymous with dying alone. Having preferences has now become synonymous with dying alone. And I find it so very amusing. So very amusing, right? Okay, I'm gonna address that too. Bad Male Advice TV. Because there's a disclaimer. He says, because you know, I'm a very sunny person, but I always got my clouds in the chat. I always have my little clouds in the chat. So Bad Male Advice TV, and you can tell by his name, he's a very pessimistic person. You already know we're dealing with a pessimistic personality. And people with pessimistic personalities usually have the problem to every solution. If you notice that type of personality is like, that's not true. That can't happen. Come to the real world. You can't have everybody you want. So let me do a disclaimer. If you bait fish, you can catch. If you bait fish, you can catch. If you are in your dating pool, in your correct dating pool, right? And sometimes even when you're out of it, if you are a pleasant personality with a good sense of humor, who is clean and cares about your hygiene and has compassion for other people, you can pretty much get who you want, right? Now, can the average girl go out and get a Jason Momoa or Dwayne The Rock Johnson? No, that's out of her pool. But if she was an actress in Hollywood and frequented those circles and had the list that I just said, pleasant personality, right? You know what I mean? Let's bring it down to the fucking post office. This is because this is talk normal people. The girl at the post office, she doesn't have to be a Barbie doll. She doesn't have to be a 10. If she just sees a handsome guy, the mail carrier, and she has a pleasant personality, right? Good sense of humor, keeps herself clean and neat. She doesn't have to be a Barbie, right? She can get that guy. Personalities go a long way. In fact, infectious personalities go even further. So that is what I'm talking about, my little cloud, my little Bad Male Advice TV. Of course, when you use exaggerations like, well, Precious can't get Jason Momoa, of course not. So I hope that disclaimer brings you some sort of solace, darling, okay? So no, not anybody you want, but if you're in your pool, you could pretty much do okay, right? Having preferences or not, right? So it seems my little appearance on Kendra G, which I thought was comical and fun and lighthearted, really set some people off, because I'm telling you, preferences has become a 4 fucking letter word now. Like, you say preferences to somebody now, and it's like, how dare you say preferences? You take the mush I'm feeding you and you like it. That's what we've become.